What's going on, it's Cameron, and today we're going to be jumping into the Web Warriors issue 4 review. Now this is a little bit late, but give me a break, I've got university work and stuff like that, so I'm kind of slacking behind on comic reviews a little bit. But jogging your memories from the previous issue, we saw the Spider-Man team land in the universe of Lady Spider. And of course, one of the greatest things about Lady Spider's universe is that it literally has no electricity whatsoever, so if the Electros came to that universe, they would pretty much be powerless. So that's going to be interesting to see how this universe plays into the series. Now before we get into the review, I just want to point out that my voice is like being strained a little bit. I think I'm losing my voice. I don't know if you can tell, but my voice is a little bit softer than usual. So yeah, sorry about that. But now that we've covered all that other stuff, we can now jump into this comic. We can now jump into this review. So let's get into it. So opening up the issue and going over to the first page, we're back in Earth 803 from the Spider-Verse. We are in Lady Spider's universe, and what I love about this is that we're returning to a character that we've seen from the Spider-Verse. Many of you guys will be familiar with Lady Spider if you read the Spider-Verse event, and if you go all the way back to my reviews and the finale of the Spider-Verse, I actually did say that I hoped one day that Lady Spider got her own series, just because Lady Spider's universe seems to be very much like the Dishonored game, and I really like that, so that's pretty awesome. But right from the get-go, one of the most hilarious points in the comic is when Spider-Ham calls Spider-Man Noir a racist for calling him a cartoon, and I thought that was brilliant. Like, they proper start shouting at each other and kind of starting a little bit of an argument slash fight, and it's actually in really good taste because it's just hilarious. Like, you don't actually think that there's any beef between the characters, and it's all in good fun. You guys would have also noticed that we've now gone back to that poppy artwork. You know, the artwork where it kind of sticks out at you, because I do know in the previous issue I did mention that artwork felt a little bit flat. Like, it felt a little bit two-dimensional compared to like the 3D-ness and the poppiness that it usually has. So that's returned in this issue, and that's awesome to see. We did also see back there that Spider-Gwen was talking to Uncle Ben in the Mayday Parker universe, and I was actually really surprised with how much they were in the comic. I mean, they actually went on their own little adventure, freeing all of these Dr. Octopus alternate universe characters who were being held captive by all the Electros, and when they actually freed all these people, all of the Doc Ocks just turned on Spider-Gwen and Uncle Ben. So even though they're being held captive, their instincts kicked in when they saw a Spider-Man character or Spider-Gwen or Uncle Ben or whatever you want to call it, and they just instantly turned around and wanted to kill them. And I also have to point out that I am loving Uncle Ben's Spider-Man costume. Like, I've seen it before, but in this comic it really pops out at you, and that's awesome. I especially liked it how Black Cat was utilised in this comic. I mean, she kind of had a little bit of a cameo. She was only in it for a few pages, but one thing I was surprised about was when Lady Spider mentioned Black Cat, none of the other Spider-Men kind of clicked on to say, oh, they recognise her or anything like that, because I'm assuming that Black Cat also exists in their universes as well. So I was kind of hoping to see something along the lines of maybe a recognition that Black Cat is a major character, but there was none of that. Yeah, that's only nitpicking, but I was kind of disappointed with that. Something that really picks the issue up though is this brilliant moment in the comic where we actually meet a good version of Dr. Octopus, and it's actually a girl called Octavia Otto. And seriously, what blew my mind is that she's actually from a universe where Spider-Man and Peter Parker and all that are villains. And the worst villain of all is Parker Peter. I love how the names are kind of switched around in this universe, but to think that all the superheroes that we know are actually villains on another universe, especially Peter Parker being the main one who's the big bad person known as Parker Peter, that's crazy. And it was a very nice twist to throw into there, and that's what I love about this Web Warriors series, is that they are pretty much playing with unlimited universes, so they could literally think of anything and just say that it's from an alternate universe, which creates awesome things like this, and that's just brilliant. We did also see a helmet lying on the floor that Spider-Gwen said that she recognised, so I'm assuming that is a similar helmet to what caused Superior Spider-Man to come into existence, as it looks very similar to the helmet that Dr. Octopus used to become Superior Spider-Man. We also have this machine showing on screen right now, and I think this just showcases India Spider-Man's intelligence on like a massive scale, because what you've got to remember is that there is no electricity in this universe, so he's built this pretty much from scratch, and it's a little bit crazy. So it's an incredible way to showcase his intelligence beyond his own technology that he's used to, and you can very much see that him and Lady Spider are getting on quite well because they seem to understand each other. Now, as for the Master Weaver that is still in the background that I haven't spoken about yet, his hunger is actually growing. What you've got to remember is that he's an inheritor, or was an inheritor, so he still has that hunger for spider totems, and eventually he's gonna have to feed that. So maybe there's like a Spider-Man Electro out there or something like that. I'm so hoping that we see something like that. But coming up to the final few pages of this comic, guys, we get this incredible ending where Spider-Man UK actually broadcasts his voice to every Electro in the multiverse to pretty much come and find them in Earth 803. And of course, on Earth 803 where they are, there is no electricity, so they're going to be pretty much powerless when they get there, and it's literally just like the best ending to this comic from this series that I've seen so far. because Spider-Man UK is just a badass in the way that he says all this. And before I forget, I absolutely loved it how there was an Electro the size of a bug. That was kind of like a little bit of a reference to Spider-Man and like how he's being called a bug, but also the fact that there is an Electro that is the size of a bug. I mean, that is pretty, I don't know whether that's good or bad, but it's funny and it's awesome, so it works. Anyway, Spider-Man UK's been awesome, and what I really like is that he's kind of taking initiative, he's taking action in order to get Gwen a distraction, but at the same time, he's asking for a fight with all of the Electros from the multiverse, and he knows that if they go there, then he's pretty much going to win because, well, they're in a universe without any power. So he's asking for a fight, knowing that he's going to win. And I just can't wait to see how Spider-Gwen, Uncle Ben Spider-Man, and that good Dr. Octopus Octavia Otto is going to play into this next issue coming up because, well, Spider-Gwen is actually going to take something down, and I can kind of see that maybe Octavia Otto might die or something like that. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But guys, that is the end of this review. That is the end of this issue. What did you think? Let me know it in the comment section below. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10 because it was awesome. I had a lot of fun reviewing this. I had a lot of fun reading it. I actually read it twice because it was so good. Now that is the end of this video, guys, so go to the links in the description to follow me on Twitter and Facebook. I will be giving away digital codes to some random comic giveaways on my Twitter, so follow me on there to keep up to date on that. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well to see what I'm doing in my free time when I'm not editing these videos. And last but not least, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video, and I will see you all next time.